Excellent. Dogwood Day Proclamation and great humor.
I'll just very briefly kick it off this evening, and thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council, for letting the Dogwood Day Proclamation on the agenda once again. Dogwood Day, for those who don't know, is Milwaukee's civic birthday, so to speak. It was May 21st, 1903 that our community was incorporated through an act of the state legislature as a municipal corporation. The community, of course, has roots deeper than that, the century before that, and much deeper into that. And tonight we just paused to remember Dogwood Day, and we have our partners, the city's partners, the Daughters of the American Revolution, and the Milwaukie Historical Society. And I'm going to stop sharing because I'm just remembering as I'm saying that first up, we're going to welcome Phyllis Hines from the Daughters of the American Revolution to make a few remarks.
Good evening, Mayor Gamba and the members of the council. My name is Phyllis Hines. I'm the regent of the Susannah Lee Barlow chapter of DAR. The missions of the Daughters of the American Revolution are to promote historic preservation, education, and patriotism. May is Historic Preservation Month. On May 27, 1952, the Susannah Lee Barlow chapter presented and dedicated the marker named Dogwood Tree at Niedermeyer Home. The marker reads, Dogwood Tree, the native Pacific dogwood over 100 years old, the largest in the United States. Height, 65 feet, circumference, 7 feet. Susannah Lee Barlow Chapter, DAR, April 27, 1952. The Susannah Lee Barlow Chapter of DAR is proud to be in partnership with the City of Milwaukie and the Milwaukie Museum on the celebration of Dogwood Day and Milwaukee's history. Our involvement this year included working last Saturday at Farmers Market booth and assisting with judging the many wonderful dogwood photographs. As education is also a priority for our chapter, we sent the city's dogwood packet to each of the Milwaukie elementary schools. We included a list of K through 2 social studies standards, which are met through study of history of community. Your inclusion of the Susannah Lee Barlow chapter in the Dogwood Day Proclamation is an honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
I got to tell you, Phyllis at the farmer's market, she has been a kindergarten teacher for like 30 years. There must have been 30 to 40 people that knew her back from the day when she was teaching. She is an amazing, wonderful person. And if you are a DAR member, can trace your roots back to the American Revolution, please consider joining. So.
Thank you, Greg.
Mayor Gamba, City Council, and City staff, thank you for having the Milwaukie Historical Society, the owners and operators of the world's largest museum dedicated to the City of Milwaukee's history, Milwaukie Museum, open Saturdays, 1 to 5 p.m., located at 3737 Southeast Adams Streets, are proud to present tonight's proclamation for May 21st, being Dogwood Day, the Dogwood City of the West. The history of the dogwood stretches all humanities in Milwaukie. The Clackamas people use it for material and basket weaving. Mrs. Schindler presented it as her pride and joy. And the residents today use it as a springtime passing in the yards, as the city uses it as their emblem today. The dogwood tree, its flower, its growth, its canopy, its roots, and its significance is much more than just a tree. It symbolizes what people can do together as a community. Build a foundation from roots, branch out, and blossom to spread the ideals we believe in. Sometimes our tree may have some fungi that halts the spread of progress, or sometimes the tree has roots that halt certain storms. But together, we ultimately rely upon ourselves, our community, our government, to guide us together into a budding and growing tree. Today, the people of Milwaukie continue to appreciate the Pacific dogwood and other dogwood species, and also recognize the dogwood as our shared emblem, not only to the commitment to our Earth's security and safety, but also to each other. It is a symbol that goes beyond our slogan of Dogwood City of the West, but is embraced by planting in yards, parks, and shared spaces. Thank you.
And for the 4th year in a row, the city hosted or put on a Instagram photo contest, social media photo contest, spearheaded mostly on Instagram, starting in late April and going through May 15th, which was Sunday. We asked community members to take photos of dogwoods throughout the community and put them on social media in a way that the public can see it using the hashtag milwaukiedogwood, and when possible, tagging the city of Milwaukee in their posts. We had a record number of 18 submissions this year. Special thanks to members of council and the city's arts committee and the Historical Society and the DAR for helping promote the contest. It was a great great The next few slides, and I'm sorry we can't get much closer in the PowerPoint resolution world, but we had some really, look at the contrasting colors of the one on the left there, the right there. So these are some of the submissions. And we had, you can really see the white one is the Pacific. The ones that are white are the Pacific dogwood, the cornus and the tolly, which is the city's official dogwood and the native dogwood to the area. The pink ones are apparently are more sturdy, more easily to grow and curate. And so you see a lot of pink ones around town more than the white ones, I think. But we, as Greg mentioned, we accept all of them. And so we had some really good submissions this year. Thank you to everyone who participated. And our selection committee met yesterday, and we want to congratulate at juniper.and.u for the one on the left, the lighter pink one with the contrast with the greens and the blue sky behind it. And then at Velveeta Olita, also on Instagram, for the wonderful contrast with what we believe, the committee believes that is a sunrise versus a sunset, but a sunrise view of through a dogwood tree. We did try to reach out to them via social media. We didn't hear back from one, but I don't think we have any of our winners here today. Doesn't look like it. So at Juniper and you and at Velveeta Olita, please stop by City Hall and get your prize. This year's prize is a Dogwood Day poster puzzle. So thank you to Nicole Madigan and the Deputy City Recorder for coming up with that this year. And thank you to everyone who participated. And I believe with that, Mr. Mayor, if you wouldn't mind reading the proclamation.
So gorgeous photos. Good job. Whereas the Pacific dogwood, Cornus natale, was nurtured and cultivated by the earliest settlers of the Milwaukie area, including the Clackamas people who used the dogwood to weave baskets and make other utensils. And whereas the Oregon State Legislature incorporated the town of Milwaukie on May 21st, 1903, after years of organized community action that sought to seek local control of the area's infrastructure and shared spaces. And whereas on April 27th, 1952, a plaque was placed by the Susannah Barlow chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution at the home of Milwaukee's first mayor, William Schindler, to mark the location of the then largest native Pacific dogwood in the United States, which stood at 65 feet in height and 7 feet in circumference. And whereas on June 9th, 1962, the City Council designated the Pacific dogwood as the city's official flower and the Dogwood City of the West as the city's nickname. And whereas the people of Milwaukie continue to appreciate the Pacific dogwood and other dogwood species by planting them in yards, parks, and shared spaces. And whereas by designating May 21st as Dogwood Day, Milwaukie continues to recognize the beauty of the dogwood blossom as an emblem of our shared commitment to the earth and to each other. Now, therefore, I, Mark Gamba, Mayor of the City of Milwaukie, a municipal corporation in the County of Clackamas and the State of Oregon, do hereby proclaim May 21st, 2022 to be Dogwood Day in Milwaukie, the Dogwood City of the West. Thank you.
And here are some images of the plaque that currently resides at the Milwaukie Museum that was mentioned by Phyllis, that was placed at the across the street from what's the Schindler home, Niedermeyer home.
So it was placed in 52, and that tree came down in
Columbus Day Storm.
Columbus Day Storm, which was 62,
but then I think it was damaged in 62 and then finally removed in 64.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm. And one of the goals is, as we work on the new Dogwood Park, that we could put that plaque into Dogwood Park to help celebrate the idea of what dogwoods mean to us. If we can figure out how to move the rocker.
Yeah.
Right. I'd like to say thank you to, on behalf of the city, to Greg and the Milwaukie Historical Society, and thank you, Phyllis, for your continued partnership with the DAR.
Managed to get out of the house.
Want to sign one? This is a